Howdy. My gosh, so good. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Chill Out podcast. So please excuse my hair today. I think my hair is still recovering from going blonde literally almost 2 years ago, but I'm currently growing it out, so I'm just trying to keep it healthy and long and all of that. So please excuse it today. I'm clearly channeling Bob Marley, which I love. So let's just roll with it. So I have my matcha. The best thing ever, literally. It's one of the few things that make me happy in life. Oh my gosh, that sounds so depressing, but I'm really joking, guys. So today I really wanted to talk about something that seems kind of old school, but also timeless. Like, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I feel like journaling is such an important, mood regulator and emotional regulator, and I think it's so important. And I don't mean like typing into your phone, okay? Not writing into your notes app. Actually sitting down with a pen and paper and I don't know, like getting weird with your thoughts. Maybe even unlocking something within you that you didn't even know was there. Like, let's be real. In this constantly on, distracted, swipe until you're empty kind of world, journaling feels like a total act of rebellion. It's like no one really does it anymore, okay? And I'm not just like promoting journaling because like I'm a writer and I enjoy it. I'm literally trying to convince you guys because I know it's going to help your life. And it's something that's benefited my life in such a positive way. And I just want to share it with the world, okay? It's something that gets misunderstood and like, it's such an underrated thing, but it's so powerful and it can impact your life in such a simple but yet powerful way. So that's what sort of inspired this episode. After years of like trying and failing to make everything feel easy, I started to sort of realize that nothing in life is actually easy. And maybe that's okay. Maybe we're not meant to breeze through life without putting in the effort or having some struggle. And the thing that's funny is that realizing that doesn't make me feel worse. It actually makes me feel so much more free. And I'm not here to like sugarcoat things, act like it's all sunshine and rainbows. Let's face it, life is tough. There are seasons where you feel like you're running in circles, where things aren't clicking, and where it feels like the universe is like playing some sick joke on you. But when you accept that life isn't supposed to be effortless, everything seems a little bit more manageable. I think that the moment that I actually stopped resisting, I felt like I could breathe so much easier. It's a certain space that you get into where you sort of like let go of the need to control everything. You sort of fail forward because you welcome failure and you sort of know that it's only going to push you further and like allow you to grow as a person. And you start like shifting your perspective in a way where you don't see everything that is difficult in your life as an obstacle. You don't look at everything in your life like it's some obstacle. You sort of change your perspective and look at it in a way that it feels like an exciting challenge. And because you've been through so much maybe in your life and you've had to overcome certain challenges, you sort of look at it now and you're like, you know what, I can get through it. I can't control everything. I can only control my actions and my own mindset. And like some things in life just aren't going to come effortlessly to you. So you kind of just have to accept it and just like roll with the punches. There's just like a certain piece with acknowledging that you're going to have to hustle, to fail, to try again and learn from it. And you know what? That's okay. It's not about perfection. It's about consistency, right? And sometimes when things are a bit too easy, I'm like, there must be a catch here because life isn't that easy and this must not be that worth it if it's this easy. So I learned to stop fearing it. The struggle is inevitable, and rather than like resisting it, I sort of learned to lean into it. I realized that sometimes the greatest lessons come from those most challenging experiences. And in that sense, the struggle sort of became part of the journey, not some obstacle that I needed to avoid. One of the things that I've learned, okay, while being on this planet for about 30 years, is that it's important to appreciate the journey. Okay, and I know this sounds super cliche, sounds super like Pinteresty, but it's true. The process is where growth happens. Yes, there will be setbacks. Yes, you'll face challenges, but there's so much beauty in becoming the person you're meant to be along the way. And it doesn't come from instant results. It comes from that hard work and those tons of failures and the moments when you pick yourself back up again. And when you're in the grind, it's easy to sort of lose sight of why you're even working towards something. But when you sort of step back and look at everything that you have accomplished along the way, no matter how big or small. There's a lot to be proud of. And sometimes the real reward isn't the end result, it's that messy in-between section of life where it's not that glamorous and it's not that pretty and it's not that fun sometimes. But that's where all of that growth happens. And growth to me is so beautiful because yes, it's super uncomfortable, but the person that you become after that whole journey it's such a beautiful process. Okay. And I saw this quote on Pinterest the other day and it was like, you can't speak butterfly language to caterpillar people. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is some profound stuff. So this one is huge. Okay. One of the most damaging things that I did to myself was comparing my journey to others. So obviously with social media, we know the whole comparison trap thing. So I'd like see people achieving success or traveling the world and I'm thinking, why am I not there yet? Like, what is wrong with me? But the thing is that I realize is that no one has the same path. No one's struggles are the same. And once I stopped comparing myself to other people, I sort of freed myself from that unnecessary pressure. One of the best things that I've done for myself this year, and I probably wouldn't have been able to do it a few years ago, but I decided to log out of my personal Instagram account and it's been about 3-4 months. And it's honestly been such a game changer. And I'm not just preaching this, I'm actually being so serious with you guys because it's just allowed me to disconnect and unplug from that whole world, that whole side of social media, that constant need to be on, the constant need to be liked and to seek validation and approval from what like you're posting. And I obviously have something that I want to share with people, which is why I do my podcast and my blog and any content that I'm posting. I always wanted to hopefully inspire someone or help them in some way. But with Instagram, it's just like this whole other vanity aspect. And it kind of sucks you in a little bit because you're constantly comparing yourself. And then you're like looking at guys that you like and they're looking at other girls and you're comparing yourself. And I just do not need to be on that. Okay. It's just not a good place for me mentally. So that was one of the best things that I've ever done. And it's allowed me to step out of that comparison trap and sort of figure out who am I? What do I actually like without being influenced by what everyone else is doing? And it's been such a healing time for me as well because I've sort of like figured out what I actually enjoy. And I'm starting to feel like my creative self again. And I'm starting to do things that I actually like and I don't really care what anyone else has to think or say. So that's been such a game changer. And I totally get it when people are like, oh my gosh, when you get off social media, it's like the best thing ever. And it really is. Okay. Alert the media. So let's get to the core of this episode. Okay. The core of it. Why journaling? Why now? It might seem like super silly, but in a world where everything is designed to get our attention outside of ourselves, whether it's social media, work emails, group chats, the list goes on. You have to reclaim your own thoughts. If you're not documenting your own life, how will you ever process it? It's like we're living on autopilot all the time. Literally, you just get up, you go through the motions, you get stuff done, and then wonder why you're like in a funk and you don't feel like yourself. Well, maybe it's because you're not actually checking in with yourself on a daily basis. And journaling is like hitting the pause button on your life. And I think that we all need that. I mean, seriously, it's so easy to forget about ourselves while we're like constantly moving through the motions of the day. And I feel like writing things down and having a journal and taking that time for yourself can sort of break that cycle. And it doesn't really matter where your goals are, like whether you want to be a little bit more self-aware or reflect on your mental health or just offload all of the nonsense cluttering your brain. Journaling is this place where you can be totally honest with yourself without needing to hold back. And whether you want to do a little brain dump or you want to write down a poem about how you're feeling, it's all just about having that moment to regulate your emotions and your mood in a healthier way. I get it. You're probably like rolling your eyes right now and thinking, Kelly, journaling is just not my vibe. Isn't it sort of something for like middle schoolers or overachieving wellness gurus? But the thing is, hear me out, okay? Journaling is literally self-care. Let's put it more into perspective. We're constantly looking for ways to like fix our mental health, trying new skincare routines or meditation apps or scrolling through Instagram for the perfect self-help quote. But none of that compares to the self-therapy of actually putting your thoughts onto paper, taking the time to like check in with yourself, asking yourself, why do I feel like this? Like, what is the actual real reason? and having that time to actually just be honest with yourself. And when you can be honest with yourself, that's when you can actually understand yourself better. And once you understand yourself, it's a total game changer. Like, you're not doing toxic shit anymore, okay? You are actually taking the time to better yourself because you can understand yourself now on a deeper level. Think about it. There's no one judging you. There's no one interrupting you while you're writing in your journal, and no one is expecting you to be perfect, okay? You don't need to write like a full-on book or thesis or essay or like poem, okay? It's not award-winning stuff. It's just about taking the time to actually just check in and be like, hey, how am I doing today? Like, how am I really doing today? And the cool part is that it doesn't need to look a certain way. Like, some days you'll feel like writing out your biggest, wildest dreams. Other days it's going to be like, oh, I'm in a mood, let me just vent. And you know what? That's okay. That's the beauty, that you get to control the narrative. You decide what goes on the page. Okay, so you're probably thinking, all right, this sounds great, but where do I even start? Don't worry. It doesn't have to be some fancy ritual. So my thing in life is, don't knock it until you try it, okay? Always have an open mind to things. Good things. I just have to give a full disclosure over there. But basically, if it is something that you're thinking about, start small. Start with a 5-minute brain dump session. Write anything and everything. Don't overthink it. The goal is to like just let the pen flow. Don't focus on writing beautifully. Just focus on getting your thoughts out. The next thing is like, find a space that's comfortable. Whether that's your bed or a quiet corner or even like a really cool romantic indie cafe. And hey, if you want to set the vibe with candles at home, some coffee or music, do it. Make it a thing you'll actually enjoy, not like some chore that just bores you and you're like not even looking forward to doing it. And also, like, don't put pressure on yourself to journal every day. I mean, I know we all try to stick to these like productivity habits, but honestly, you don't need to be perfect all the time. If you haven't journaled in like a week or even a month, just pick it up again. It's not about consistency, it's more about connection. Some days after I'm like finish my day, I'm actually just mentally exhausted, and I know writing in my journal is going to help me, but I'm also so tired. I'm not going to like make myself feel bad and be like, Kelly, you should write in your journal right now. No, I will do it tomorrow. So just make it something that you actually are keen for, not that like you're forcing yourself to do. If you're thinking, okay, I'm not a writer, I've never done journaling ever in my life, let me just give you a few little tips, okay? If you're stuck on what to write about, use prompts. You can literally Google a ton of journaling prompts online, or you can even just pick one theme, like how you're feeling today, what's currently stressing you out, or what's something that you're grateful for. That's always a good one because that definitely shifts your perspective, like the super chill, you know, like honestly. Start off with the date, the time, because I like to look back at those prompts and see where my head was at. But I sort of just like unload on the page. No judgment. Do you ever feel like your brain is just a dumpster fire? I swear sometimes my thoughts feel like they're literally doing laps around my head and I can't even keep up. I mean, I'm thinking about 100 different things all at once. What I have to do tomorrow, how I feel about a situation, what's bothering me, what someone said to me last week. It's exhausting trying to juggle it all in my head. And writing it down takes that mental weight off. And suddenly I can stop racing to remember all the things and like actually start focusing on one thing at a time. So it's sort of like putting the clutter in its place and giving yourself some room to breathe. Journaling is honestly so empowering. It hands you the reins to your own emotions. And often we let our feelings dictate everything, whether it's anger or fear or sadness or joy, like just all takes over. But when you write things down, you take control, you express your emotions in your own way, and then you decide what you want to do with them. And writing gives you the space to heal and to acknowledge what's happening in your life and to give yourself permission to feel without judgment. It's basically a conversation with yourself where you're allowed to be real and honest without any pressure to like have it all together. And another really cool part about journaling is that it gives you like a living record of your life. When you're feeling stuck or uninspired or like you haven't made any progress, you can kind of like page through your entries and remind yourself of just how far you've actually come. Maybe a few months ago, you might have been dealing with something which felt like the emotional equivalent of a roller coaster, but now you're handling things like an absolute boss. You see your struggles, you've been through it, you realize that you've survived every single one of them, and then you're able to track your progress. It gives you some insane confidence boost. It's like a reminder that no matter what's coming next, you've been through worse and you're still here. It's actually such a vibe to record in my car when it's a rainy day because first of all, the windows are all misted out and no one is looking at me. This is such a vibe. Honestly, I'm just chilling, hanging out with you guys, having some matcha. I'm honestly insane because it's so cold outside. Literally, I was freezing a few seconds ago. And I decided, you know what? I haven't had one of these in a while. Let me treat myself. It's weekend and all of that. Look, I literally spent this entire episode trying to promote journaling to you, but it's because I want you guys to see that we get pushed so many wellness trends on a daily basis. And sometimes we overlook the most simple habits that can really impact our lives in a positive way. And the thing is, your journal doesn't judge you. You could write, I want to scream into a pillow because someone looked at me in a weird way. And your journal is just going to say, slay bestie, let it out. No consequences, no overthinking later, like just vibes. It's weirdly therapeutic. Like the more honest you are, the lighter you feel. You don't need to make sense. You just need to get it out. And sometimes in the middle of a chaotic, messy brain dump, you stumble on something real, like a pattern or a need that you've been ignoring, or the root of why that thing really hurt you. That's the good stuff. That's when you're like, oh, I get it now. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. As always, I love hanging out with you. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this week's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, feel free to let me know how your experience with journaling was, or if it's something that you're going to take on. I would love to hear from you. So pop me a DM or comment down in the comment section down below. I love you. Have an amazing week, guys. Slay.